everybody. I hope you're well. I hope you are staying safe. I hope you and your loved ones are as well as can be. Thank you to all of our essential workers and our healthcare workers for taking such good care of us. I feel very privileged to be in a space where I've had the time to slow down. I'm safe. And so I recognize that, talking about embracing the pause I am in this very privileged place where I can just be. And so I wanted to talk about how we can embrace this time. And I recognize, a lot of people are very busy at work. Some people don't have jobs. But it's also a deep period of reflection to look at, are we living the lives that are important to us? Are we as fulfilled as we could be? Because I do think that is a goal in life. I don't think that the goal of life is necessarily happiness. It's growth, it is growth rather than happiness. But I believe that fulfillment is a huge piece, and being able to find fulfillment makes a huge impact on our ability to enjoy our lives, to feel good and feel at ease. And so this is really a time of slowing down. And we can't really travel anywhere, so no one's going to do any big trips, which means that our finances are a bit different. Maybe we have a little bit more money because we're not doing these big trips. Or you're planning a really big event, and of course that can happen for another little while. So in this kind of limbo period, it's actually a really beautiful period of pause. And instead of fighting it, we can lean into that and slow down and just be. And it's as simple as putting a hand on our hearts and being in this moment and being in the present and letting go of old ideas that no longer serve us. And it's really been a time of going within and healing. And so embracing the pause is about being present, letting go of the past and not worrying about the future, which I know sounds crazy if maybe you've lost your job. But you can do this for even 5 minutes a day. To be in the present moment and just stop. And embrace the stillness, and even if you're able to go deeper, embrace the emptiness. And I know a lot of people find this hard because they'll say, like, maybe they have a hard time meditating, there's too many thoughts going on in their head. But in fact, this stillness is actually our foundation for getting to know ourselves. It's in this place of just being, where we're not being so attracted by the outside world, where we're not maybe at the mercy of our own thoughts, where we can just be in this moment. This is our starting ground. And maybe it might not happen right away. Like if I do this for myself, if I sit there here and put a hand on my heart, I know what my heart longs for. I know what it takes for me to be fulfilled. I know what I want to reach for. Although I said, of course, be in the present moment, but your heart tells you so much. It tells you so much about what you're longing for and what direction you want to go in. And that's by just going within for a second. I spend all day doing this stuff. So, if it's not instant for you, don't worry. But the more you do this, the more you will hear. Or even maybe if you hear more or better in nature, just go for a walk. And clear your mind and just listen to what are the longings of your heart. Embrace this time to slow down. In last October, November, December, life was so crazy, and I just kept telling life, slow down. And it was amazing when the pandemic first hit, because the world slowed down to my level. It was incredible. And as other people were struggling, I was in one of the best places ever in my life, because I finally felt at ease for the first time in eight years. So by embracing this pause, by taking this moment, by stepping back, actually, we get to know ourselves. We hear the longing of our hearts, not necessarily what our plan is, but what does our heart want for us? What does life want for us? Because there are greater forces at work. If you follow my work, I talk a lot about divine intelligence or a greater intelligence, universe, whatever you want to call it. And so as if there's greater forces at work. If anybody's been following Carolyn and Mrs. work, her writing the Phoenix is incredible. And she says, how everything is just being attributed to a bat. She's like, that is one powerful bat. And I actually don't believe it's a pandemic. I feel like it's nature telling us to slow down and look at what are we doing to the world? You know, where do we need to really reevaluate how we're exploiting our earth? About telling us that we shouldn't be encroaching on abnormal habitats, that we need to rethink about how we live in relationship with animals. We need to rethink about our integrity. So there's so much in this pause, this beautiful, great pause, that we look at who are we and what do we want? What do these greater forces want from us? Because I feel like we're being redirected in our work and our relationship and our finances, our relationships, finances, our beliefs. This has been a huge period of letting go of ideas that no longer work for me, that are outdated, particularly those I had around myself as an artist and as a dancer. I've been going through a lot of physical healing, which sounds great, but has been really actually very physically painful. And it's deciding that the past is the past and I'm starting fresh, and the past can actually be even more extraordinary, and therefore, and the past is just a story. So all of these things, it's about pausing, going within, looking at what no longer serves me. This idea no longer serves me. That's just my story. I'm open to a new one being written. I'm going to surrender to this moment. I'm going to lean in and allow it to lead me where I really do need to go, both in the outer world, but to start with, within myself, within my heart, within my mind, within my soul. I'm going to follow that path. I'm going to trust that I'm going to end up where I'm supposed to end up. And this is actually a time to for our faith and our trust to really be brought up, because this is bringing up our fears. You know, periods of uncertainty bring up our fears, and therefore we need to it's really about looking at what are our primary thoughts. Like if we're an anxious person, then of course there'll be of anxiety. If we're a person that just believes that we are always bottom of the barrel and are gonna, you know, it's like everything good happens to other people, well, that's really gonna show here too. If we're people that can see how this is helping us, then we're really going to, that thinking is really going to serve us. It doesn't mean it's not going to be challenged. Like, for sure, I've been challenged in my thinking, but that is just, challenge is actually just a way for faith to show itself even harder. And, you know, in this time period of not really knowing, in a way, it's kind of a darkness. You know, I was watching an interview with Joe Biden who says that faith shows itself best in the dark. And so in times like these, we have to dig deep and find that faith, embrace that pause, look deep within ourselves, and look at what within our thoughts and our emotions no longer serve us. What can we let go of? What new is being asked of us? How are we being asked to step up? What new habits are we being asked to create? For me, meditation has been coming up tons. Better rituals or better habits like taking a walk every day, which is what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done this video. Are we spending time with the people that are most important to us? And are those people even in our lives? If we don't have those strong connections, how can you go about building them? And yes, you can do it over COVID. You know, there's lots of opportunities to connect with people online. And now, you know, my gosh, we have the whole world at our feet with all of these virtual opportunities. So embracing the pause really means slowing down, going within, hearing the longings of our heart, or even creating this line of communication between you and yourself, asking the questions, listening to the answers, looking at where change needs to be made, creating new habits, creating new ways of thinking and feeling and speaking and acting. So how can you use this to your benefit? This really wonderful time, I think, actually, of telling the earth how much we appreciate it, and of building stronger connections, including with ourselves, and going out and living the life that fulfills us the most. So I hope that was helpful. I'll be back with more videos, and thank you so much for watching.